It all depends on Senate Republicans. So all eyes will really be on the GOP this week to see if the Senate even takes up this bill to increase the stimulus checks from $600 to $2,000. The House passed the bill to do just that yesterday, with nearly every Democrat supporting the bill and most Republicans opposing it. So now we'll see if and when Majority Leader McConnell decides to put this on the floor for a vote. But we know Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has said that he's going to try and pass this bill today by unanimous consent. It only takes one senator to oppose that. So
hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your news report and second stimulus check update. Folks, tell me in the comments down below. Do you think that Mitch McConnell and Speaker Pelosi will join forces and pass more stimulus relief? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. Before we get into the video, subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell to never miss all of the newest and most up-to-date, reliable stimulus check information. And let's get this video to 5,000 likes if you think that Congress should pass more stimulus relief by the end of the year.
To do that, now the Senate will take up that $2,000 per person making $75,000 or less tomorrow, and Democrats are jumping on this.
President Trump changed his mind and supports this legislation. That's why we acted. We would have included much larger payments in the legislation had he spoken up sooner. But it's never too late to do the right thing. President Trump stood up. We support this legislation.
Mark, there are a lot of Republicans, particularly on the Senate side, who may be put in a box here, and an uncomfortable box, and perhaps the biggest two will be running for Georgia for Senate in January 5th in that runoff, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler.
No doubt. I mean, the Senate is not going to approve $2,000 payments to the American people because it's not targeted to people who are struggling or who are having trouble.
Increase the next round of stimulus checks from $600 to $2,000 and are on their way to override the president's veto of the National Defense Authorization Act. Now, for more on this, I want to bring in Siobhan Hughes. She's a Capitol Hill reporter for the Wall Street Journal. Thank you for joining us, Siobhan. First of all, the House voted to increase the next round of stimulus checks from $600 to $2,000. We've seen a lot of tweets in the last few days from the president. How likely is it that Americans will see $2,000 stimulus checks in the next coming weeks?
There is virtually no chance that will happen. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has not promised that there is going to be a vote. Mr. Schumer of New York has indicated he's going to try to push for a vote tomorrow when the Senate convenes, but that's not likely to happen. All it takes is a single Republican senator to get up on the floor and say, I object. So as of now, the prospects for a Senate vote.
Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, has pitched Speaker Pelosi with a $916 billion proposal. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin told reporters that he presented a new $916 billion relief proposal to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi in the first move by the Trump administration since Election Day. Mnuchin said in a tweeted statement that he had spoken with Republican congressional leaders on the plan, as well as President Trump. He said that he spoke with Pelosi at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. In a statement, Mnuchin said, this proposal includes money for state and local governments and robust liability protection for businesses, schools, and universities. Those two issues have been the two key roadblocks in bipartisan talks on a $908 billion proposal put forth last week. And House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy said in an interview, it's a much better product than a $908 billion option. I don't see a reason why Pelosi should be opposed, he said. Kevin McCarthy also backs Steve Mnuchin's plan 100%. Everybody tell me in the comments down below. What do you think of Steve Mnuchin? Do you think that he's doing his job in getting a second stimulus bill passed and approved?
Bill, and they need to reject any liability protection expansion. They said they appreciate the work that this bipartisan group of senators is doing on this $900 billion proposal, but they went on to say, given the horrific extent of the current crisis and the desperation that working families all over this country are experiencing, this proposal does not go anywhere near far enough. Sanders also said earlier today that he hopes Republican Senator Josh Hawley, who is also pushing for direct payments, can rally Republicans around this effort. So,
for the good, hardworking American people like yourself. Tell me what you think of Steve Mnuchin in the comments down below. Bloomberg News goes on to report that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell earlier Tuesday had floated the idea of setting aside the two elements in a final 2028 package, something Democratic leaders quickly rejected. Mnuchin's plan ties both provisions so they can either be removed or stay together. That's according to Kevin McCarthy. The Mnuchin plan also includes stimulus payments, which is something that a $908 billion plan backed by Pelosi, Schumer, and many Republicans. When asked about Mnuchin's plan, a spokesman for McConnell said the leader has no further remarks beyond a statement earlier Tuesday. Now, liability protections have been a key priority for McConnell, but opposed by Democrats. Republicans, in the meantime, have criticized helping states as an improper bailout. Everybody tell me in the comments down below, do you support Steve Mnuchin's $916 billion? Do you support Steve Mnuchin's $916 billion stimulus plan, which includes stimulus payments?
She's saying that she is hopeful of getting some kind of deal done here, but it feels like we've heard this before. Where do things stand right now?
Well, the lawmakers who are involved in crafting that $908 billion bipartisan proposal are getting ready to meet at 12:15 and then again at 5:30. We do expect to get a more detailed section by section outline of their plan at some point this afternoon. But that outline is not expected to have any of the details on state and local aid and liability protections. Those have been the two real sticking points throughout these negotiations over the past few months and over the past week.
Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. Bloomberg News goes on to say that Mnuchin said that he and the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows had reviewed the $916 billion proposal with Trump, McConnell, and McCarthy. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said earlier Tuesday that leaving out state and local aid would hurt essential workers across the nation, including police officers and firefighters. Schumer accused McConnell of pulling the rug out from under the bipartisan group of lawmakers working on the $908 billion plan. Schumer and Pelosi had backed that framework as the basis for negotiations. While Mnuchin had led talks for weeks with Pelosi on a stimulus deal before Election Day, the administration thereafter largely left it to Mitch McConnell to deal with the Democrats. The Senate Majority Leader has repeatedly called for support of his own smaller and targeted stimulus proposal. Folks, tell me in the comments down below, who is to blame for holding back your second stimulus check and the unemployment benefits? Is it the Republicans, like Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, or the Democrats like Speaker Pelosi? Tell me what you think in the comments down below.